My name is Colin, and I am a racial profiler. When the Enron scandal broke, I thought to myself, this is going to be older white guys in business suits. When there's a shooting outside a hip-hop club, I think this is going to be young black guys in rock-aware. Does this make me a racist or a person living in reality? Oh, now listen. Racial profiling, obviously, it's a touchy subject, but at the same time, don't we all profile people? I mean, if I didn't know you four, I would profile you, you know what I mean? You, I would think, was like the guy that everyone pictured before they arrested the guy that really kidnapped Elizabeth Smart. They look like you know? Bonnie, you know, you're like the pretty girl, and so you say, oh, she's too pretty to me. If I didn't know you weren't banging me, I'd say she must be banging me. And I don't appreciate that. And Greg, I would think you're more Eastern European than Latino, except for that big medallion around your neck, and that brings out the Puerto Rican in all of you. And Robinson, you know how I feel. You look like the cool black guy in the unhip white town. You know what I'm saying? You know, he lives with some big white girl. She loves it because he has a giant rod. She goes to work. He's like a half a bass player. You know, sometimes he gets to get a little jazz session. I don't know. Bass player. And, you know, you guys profile me for what I am. It must be hard because you know me as a legend and a star, so I know you can't just profile me. Well, what do you think of profiling? Bad? Good? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Were you going to slam me?
No, I wasn't going to slam you. I just figured you to be a middle-aged, nervous man. That's what I think you are.
Oh, that hurts. Yes.
A finished Irish idiot with his last shot in show business.
Really? That's very interesting.
Well, profiling, right?
Yes, that's profiling, Bonnie. Thank you. You're Canadian.
Yeah, the Arabs at the airport. That's the deal. And
Arabs at the airport, sure.
Sure, they profile us, right? You ever try to get a cab on a Saturday night?
Yeah.
Those heads pick and choose, man.
They really do.
Yeah.
I'm sure
does a white girl have trouble getting a cab?
Well, I don't, but I was thinking of you. Exactly. No, you gotta be hot to get a cab.
There's a lesson to be learned. So
Well,
you try
here's
to
the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I got nothing.
I was told to go for it.
Do it.
I feel like I have to.
Go right ahead.
That's why I'm on the show. No, but when I first moved to New York, you know, Mike Ivey, black comic, I would have to get him a cab, and in return, you know, he promised not to steal from me. So it was a nice
quid pro quo.
It worked out.
I think it's dangerous to profile any particular group. I really do. I think that's where we got in trouble with the snipers, the DC snipers. They were riding around a car with shotguns in their hand, asking cops for directions. You know, hey man, we're out of ammo. Where's the local gun shop? So I just think it's dangerous to do that. So you know, if you just go ahead, you got something.
No, you know, the term racial profiling is thrown around all the time, and it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, what do you know, like you said at the opening, you know, there are certain kinds of groups that commit certain crimes. It's just a question of, you know, what are you outlawing exactly? Like if you say, you know, most drug traffickers, most people that bring drugs into New York are black and Latino, which is a fact. But should you pull over every black and Latino? No, that would be wrong, and it would make pot really expensive in the city.
Common sense dictates, man. It's not just that you want to be racist. You know, I don't want to see a guy stop because of his race. But when it comes to flying, if you have a thick mustache and a hyphen in your last name, I want you cavity searched. It's common sense. There's nothing to do with being racist.
It's also that kind of, you know, the sort of politically correct way to claim we're not doing racial profiling at the airports is absurd. I mean, I was once flying back from Cincinnati, bragging, and Barry Williams he played Greg Brady, on the Brady Bunch.
Right.
And they were searching him. They made him take his shoes off. He's sitting there, Greg Brady, you know, and he had just gotten his ass kicked on Celebrity Boxing the week before. It's like how much humiliation can this guy take? Greg Brady is not a terrorist. You know what I mean? Bobby Brady, he was always the troublemaker.
If ever there was like a metaphor for like the fall of the middle-class white America, it's him getting Greg Brady getting searched. That was no accident.
It's the bomb. I mean, look, I don't dislike Arab guys, but
I wasn't going to go laugh on that, but you should have waited at least for a minute to say
Why? I didn't mean.
Shut up.
It was out of respect. I figured it was a little gap. I would jump in. Sorry.
But you have to look at what the impact I mean, I think we could all say honest things. We could say, look, there are certain groups that are responsible for certain kinds of crime, but the question is, what's the impact of profiling on the innocent members of that race? It's like nobody's, stereotypes are true to an extent, but cops aren't pulling Chinese guys out of their cars and making them do math problems. You know what I mean? Chinese guys aren't doing drive-by shootings. That's funny. I should have let that one go.
Here's the thing. What I see right now is like, okay, Colin, I've been racially profiled consistently. All right, all the time. I get stopped. They mess with me. You guys, that's what we paid them for. White guys, man. You guys, at least every white guy I know, at least know one cop. Everyone. And then you have that card that they give you in case you're stopped card. All right? Show this to the police in case you're stopped. As a black man, I don't have that. I don't have that. They stopped me all the time. They said one time they stopped me, and this is a true story, said I had a drug dealer looking car. How the hell do you get your car to look like a drug dealer car? I see that cocaine shooting out the trunk of the car. It's sad.
And it is hard to see how tough it is, and he's one of the nice ones.
No, he's not.
It's got to really...
No, but listen, yes, and let me tell you something else. But you have to admit, I've been arrested by black and white cops when I was a youth. And let me tell you something, the black cops love it when they get a white guy. They really loved it. You can just see that it changed their whole day for the better.
There's a balance, dude. There's a balance, I think, between being...
You said there's a balance due to the host of the point. Call me, there's a balance, Mr. Quinn.
All right, well, suede jacket wearing ass didn't seem appropriate.
Yeah, somehow it did.
There's a balance you find between, between letting a ticking Arab onto an airplane and sodomizing a Haitian immigrant with a plunger. There's a place in the middle where you use common sense. Richard Reed, you can eyeball somebody and see what they're like. He couldn't have looked more like a shoe bomber if he had written shoe bomber on his face with a red marker. You look at him and you know there's something wrong with him.
Or you could the problem with the profiling at the airports is you're putting too much power in the hands of these mutants that run the airport security in the first place. You know what I mean? We all racially if I'm on an air, I fly all the time. If I'm on a flight and there's like a nervous-looking Arab guy next to me, you don't automatically assume just because he's Arab-looking, but he's a little nervous, you start sizing him up. How about those Giants, dude? How's that going? You go USA, right?
Well, let me tell you something else, too. And my family is half black at this point. I've never met a black person that didn't drive over the speed limit. Be honest. Drive over the speed limit? Be honest. The
only thing I'll be honest with is that black guys, we have such a bad history with cops that when they stop us, we're so ready to play the race card, we actually forget we're doing illegal stuff. What you stop me for because I'm black? I'll give you that one.
All right, so look, the point is if you see an Irish guy stumbling out of a bar today, St. Patrick's Day, just remember something. He was there for the pretzels. We'll be right back. Well, we're moving on. 6 million kids are taking these behavioral meds every day, okay? And all these problems with drugs and medication now, it's kind of we had a similar scandal when I was a kid with Flintstones vitamins. No, that's not hacking. That's right. They had to put me on 2 points and a Mr. Slade. Then I was diagnosed with ADD. They were going to put me on St. Joseph's aspirin for children, but my mother said it was a violation of church and state. Come on, that was a sophisticated one. Let's talk about this thing because ADD, it is an important subject, and if there's one group of people that have ADD, it's comedians.
Right.
Do you think kids should be, you guys were born with ADD, do you realize that? And depression, actually.
They were actually going to put me, I don't know if I have ADD, but this is true. When I was a kid, they were going to put me on Ritalin or some sort of drug, but they didn't. And I don't think you should put your kids on drugs unless there's something really wrong with them. I turned out okay. I mean,
Yeah, I was going to say you're quite,
Oh boy, I want your kids to be a comic who pays for black hookers to tinkle on them, then don't put them on any drugs.
And that's profiling. We're getting back to profiling with that one.
I mean, Ritalin's an amphetamine.
All urine is the same color. Go ahead.
Ritalin's it's an amphetamine. You're giving little children amphetamines. I mean, it's these teachers, maybe it's the teachers. I'm sick of hearing about it. The teachers keep complaining they don't get paid enough. Crank out some kids that could read, then we'll renegotiate. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the teacher's fault. They talk about the kids have short attention spans. Now, how, you know, you're talking about young kids, 4 and 5-year-old kids. It's not like they're influenced by that much societal stuff at that age. You know, it's like kids, maybe most of these people aren't worth listening to for more than 10 or 15 seconds.
When they talk about the symptoms of ADHD, I guess it is, you know, it's like that's every kid. If your kid don't have those symptoms, he's probably retarded. So what's the problem?
That's the other point. It's the parents.
And let me just, what's that?
It's the parents. It's not the teachers. It's bad parenting, and that's why kids aren't paying attention. They're little spoiled douches because people want they're awful. Parents want the 2 cars in the garage, and the women want the careers. It's like, if you want the career, fine. Stop having kids. Turn over on your stomach and give up the balloon knot once in a while.
Do you realize with the ADHD, one thing that I've found out is that these kids, if your kid is diagnosed with having ADHD, you get a check for that. You get money, like $700 a month. I mean, that's tempting. Are you serious?
He knows all about all the social programs.
I don't know that.
Hell knows that. It's a whole beating the state system.
You realize what's going to happen now? Everybody's going to be watching the show. They're going to start trying to get it.
Yeah, that's it.
First of all, let me say a couple of things. One is, my mother, my father, my sisters, all my cousins, they're all teachers. I don't appreciate your attitude. Second of all, really, don't you guys feel like you would have been something a little more successful?
No.
If you'd been, shut up.
He's asking a question. I was trying to answer.
If you were, you were like the crazy kids in class. Like, I was always back there with the bully and the other idiot in the back, you know. And we were the class clown. Class clown, bully, whatever.
That was
That's what you wanted to finish.
When I was in grammar school, you know, I went to a high school that was like a sort of a progressive kind of high school, and then my whole life turned around.
It was very disciplined.
But I wasn't disciplined. It was just more progressive and open-minded, and they treated people with respect. When I was in grammar school, I went to Catholic grammar schools in Queens, and my parents would get called in all the time and say, "Is there something wrong at home? What's happening?" You know, it's like, well, maybe I prefer staring out the window than listening to this moron speak. You know, maybe that was the problem.
Why don't you bring up teachers again, Greg, damn it? Again, I already told you. And a couple of them taught Catholic school, too. They might have you as a student.
Cut the teacher's pay and put that money in a pool.
Damn it.
To pay the pro athletes. Seriously. Anybody can sit in a classroom full of kids and not teach them anything, but it's only a tiny percentage of college date rapists that get to go on to become professional athletes. Dude, they deserve to be compensated.
He's got a good point. Now, what about the Canadian school system?
Right.
Why are people so boring when they come out of there?
I don't know. When I was younger, I wasn't on any kind of... I self-medicated, you know. You start at an early age, and that's what you do.
Drugs are not the answer. Drugs are not the answer because you're gonna stifle creativity. They thought I had. This is true. They thought I had. I used to have a nervous twitch where I would stand.
Self-awareness.
Look at the kid and tell him you love him. Unless you have good prescription plan, then grind pills in at breakfast with a little sociopath till he gets out on his own. We'll be right back.